Hello, welcome to this update for Asia. Let's see what's happening. First, starting the tropics here. So, I do have a few storms in China, some strong storms. Those might have some very strong winds and rain, so stay safe. Shows a few storms around Thailand and Laos, a few spots in the Philippines, and still some scattered shower storms near Indonesia, spots of Malaysia, and a thing or two in India. So we're also monitoring these two areas in the Philippines for potential tropical development as well. One, the South China Sea, might try to do something. There's this other one near the eastern Philippines that might also try to form into something, but a little bit lower probability. So let's see here. The current invests that show here is 92W near the Philippines, the South China Sea, but there's also 93W there near the eastern Philippines. So there's not much support from the models for this one, but the GFS does take it up towards Japan or the Koreas. And I don't think this will be really tropical. This might try to do some extra tropical characteristics later if it gets to Japan or the Koreas. But we'll see. The Canadian does try to get tropical storm strength, but very weak, and then goes towards Japan later. So, and here is something different. So there's 92W as well. There's not too much support, but the GFS does try to form this near China or near Japan as well. Some other spots. There's the Canadian, also like the same amount of support, but we'll keep watching. There's the European model. It tries to form something just east of Taiwan, but that doesn't look that tropical. It looks kind of messy. So this goes, and like I said before, it might become an extra tropical cyclone later or subtropical by the time it gets to Korea or Japan with some heavy rain and everything. There's the GFS, and it does try to make something tropical. So it does show spots of the South China Sea. It forms that first invest there by the middle of next week, and the GFS does go into southern China as a tropical storm by June 13th, next Friday, and then later the remnants into Japan in those areas. So we better watch this, but the models aren't too excited, but better watch. There's the Canadian tries to form that second one near Taiwan, but like that's disorganized as well. So this goes maybe some extra storms towards Japan, the Koreas later, and then it goes there. There's the icon. It shows like a low pressure trying to form the South China Sea. So the icon actually gets a storm by June 12th, just south of China, and then this goes into China there. So the icon does want a tropical storm into China. So we'll keep watching those areas, but there's not much support. There's the European. The European does have slightly more support. It does show spots of southern China where most members of the European are going towards, some near Taiwan, and later into Japan. So he has that first invest and the other one east to the Philippines. And the European does hint at something trying to go into China. So if you are like in China or Taiwan, just watch this in case this forms into a storm during the next week or so. And also if you are in Japan for like heavy rain, if this comes an extra tropical cyclone. So be aware those areas. There's the GFS ensembles too. And here I don't know why I just switched regions and the show let's put 150 hours. So the GFS kind of has some good support as well. Some go towards China, like that run I just showed you that goes a tropical storm towards China, and other members goes towards Japan further north as tropical or probably like more like extra tropical because on the model run it was kind of disorganized with dry air in one side, so it might be extra tropical. But if it remains in the South China Sea, most likely be a tropical storm. So who keep watching those areas and be aware there's especially with the possibility of this forming. But uh, there's another hazard that will happen if it forms or if it doesn't form. It will happen anyways. That's called heavy rain. So especially in the Philippines, in those areas, next 5 days, the European model has like to 300 millimeters spots of the western Philippines, and around Manila to like 173, more spots in Luzon, more than 180, 200. So please be careful in those areas. Some islands in the South China Sea, more than 200 as well, and central spots there in the South China Sea near the western Philippines. So please stay safe in those areas. Be careful with flooding and flash flooding and everything as this comes by, and also thunderstorms like showers and storms with lightning and everything. So stay safe in those areas. Check the links in the description to see some alerts. So does show like the GFS. The GFS is even more. It has like 500 millimeters, nearly 600 in the Western Philippines. So the GFS is very crazy. 600 millimeters, 300 more than the European. So this might happen or might not, because the GFS sometimes suddenly exaggerates and then gives up. So we'll keep watching this, but even if it's just 100 millimeters, that would already cause flooding. So imagine 600. So please stay safe no matter what amount shows here, even if like there's 30 millimeters in half an hour, that can cause flooding. So please be careful in those areas. There's the icon. The icon is kind of chill. It's just 150, 187, but even like 200 is already problematic. So be careful in those areas, especially the western side of the Philippines, that heavy rain. I don't know if the axis reaches as far north here. Yeah, I think it does. So it does show right to the coast of the western Philippines to 200 meters. The axis as well shows some islands in the South China Sea close to 200, more spots there. So be careful in those areas. Stay safe, especially especially in the Philippines. Be careful with flooding. So down to Indonesia, that does show a few spots, central areas, more than 100 millimeters, and some islands there, especially Western Guinea and Papua New Guinea. So be aware spots to 100 millimeters, those regular tropical downpours like showers and storms. So shows in southern Myanmar as well, more than 200 millimeters, a few spots, 202, and those like intense thunderstorms, Cambodia and Laos, those showers and storms. So be careful in those areas, and like into southern China especially, more into Myanmar. So be careful those showers and storms. And if there's a really strong storm, the values might be higher than what is showing up here. So be careful in those areas. And just until Tuesday, like in the next 3 days, this is like 2 days, 13 hours, but like in the next 3 days, show spots of China, more than 100 millimeters, central, like central southern China. But what is concerning is this amount in Japan that the European is showing. It shows 300 millimeters in southern Japan just next 2 days. So if this happens, please be careful. The GFS just 100, so the GFS even to like 162. So yeah, the European says 200, 300, the GFS like 163. So even if it's just like the GFS, there might be flooding. So please be careful. The icon is on the extreme side as well. The icon is close to 300 as well. So just in the next 2 days and 13 hours, just until Tuesday. So please stay safe in those areas. Be careful with flooding, flash flooding, and everything in southern Japan, the southernmost island there. Not southernmost island like in those small islands, but southernmost big island in this area here. So please stay safe in those areas. Warn others of this flooding. And then shows 5 days does increase a little bit more, 5 days to like 353. So please be careful. Those areas, a few spots central China, but more like central southern China, those areas in Japan. And even Tokyo shows some storms to 53 millimeters. So stay safe. The GFS does have central Japan to more than 100, and 5 days it does increase to 200 southern Japan. because the GFS has that system curving north there, that it's tropical to extratropical system curving north into Japan. So please be careful in those areas. In long range, it does show more drought, but it's like 12 days. This is too much, but more heavy rain coming after that. So please be careful. The GFS does have like southern Myanmar, 200 millimeters as well. That's nearly 300 more spots in Cambodia and Laos. So please stay safe. The GFS has some big amounts in the coast of Cambodia too. So stay safe in those areas. And the European too, it has like those classic spots, southern Cambodia in the coast, more than 200 millimeters next 5 days. So stay safe in those areas. Please be careful, especially in Japan and central China, in those areas, and especially in the Philippines. So stay safe. In India, there's still some heavy rain southwestern India, more than 100 millimeters next 5 days. Some intense storms central India, a few spots in southwestern Sri Lanka. Stay safe there. Some passing showers in the Maldives. Seabreeze village, quite calm, but shower too. And shows like especially in India those intense storms. So be aware those areas next 5 days. But does show eastern India a few afternoon storms into like northeastern India, especially near Myanmar, a few storms in Bangladesh, but no crazy rain, but it does show a few stronger storms in Bangladesh. So be aware in those areas. But next 13 days, the European does pick up again in India to like more than 600 millimeters next 3 weeks. But it's like 2 to 3 weeks, so don't worry about that yet. That's too far. But potentially later in like 2 weeks or something, we might have some flooding troubles again in India later on. But that's far. So stay safe in those areas and please be careful. Now, uh, just moving on quickly to Russia and Kazakhstan, because there's still some stronger storms. Western Russia, in the European video, there were some severe storms there in Russia, and shows more in Estonia. So be careful those cold fronts that cross into central Russia, some snow and storms, especially southern Russia into Kazakhstan, shows a few more storms. So be careful in those areas. Show like Sunday, those storms western Russia and also central Russia into Kazakhstan. This goes even Mongolia, a few storms, and then shows like next Thursday, next Wednesday, Thursday, spots of central Russia, more storms. The snow is in the very far north now, so all of central southern Russia is mainly rain, but this goes and yeah, does show even to like one week and a half from now into Kazakhstan and Russia more fronts. So be careful those storms, especially some severe storms possible in some of those cold fronts. And as you can see here, this is Monday, June 16th. Alright, it shows that crazy burst of rain western India when those monsoon winds pick up again. So just be on alert in like 2 weeks or something, 1 week and a half. This might come again. So be careful in those areas. The GFS has less in southwestern India, but it does have 276 millimeters next 5 days. So the GFS does have some storms there too. Next 13 days, the GFS does show central western India again, but the GFS especially like to 700 in Myanmar next 13 days, but that's too much. Don't worry about that right now. But stay safe in those areas with the current storms, because just 5 days the GFS will show you 200 in Myanmar. So stay safe in those areas. In terms of snow accumulation, does show in the high elevation still in the Himalayas next 5 days. Some 12 centimeters, 31, a few spots in Nepal and China, especially western China, Tajikistan, some snow northern Afghanistan, Kyrgyzstan into China. So still be aware those high elevation spots of Mongolia too, some 14 centimeters, 13, a few spots southern Russia, mainly those mountains, the high elevations. The GFS like zero, absolutely zero in those mountains, and it just have in central Mongolia. So the European shows way more snow than the GFS here the GFS like 0 and a little bit in some areas there, but the European has snow all over the place. So be aware, the situation might change depending on the model. Like the GFS is in central China through those mountains and those areas, and does have in Tajikistan too, and the European does have some centimeters northern Iran, those mountains into Azerbaijan, a few spots in Armenia, and northeastern northeastern Iran in a few spots as well. But the GFS is like nearly 0 in every single area. There's 0, 0, 0. So the Europeans only one showing this snow in those mountains. But sometimes I think the Europeans are more precise than the GFS. So this snow is possible, like on the icon is some 2 centimeters in spots of northern Iran. In the Caucasus, it has barely 1 centimeter, like 3 centimeters, the Caucasus. So the European loves a snow party because the other models always shows less than the European. So be aware those areas, and still here around the Middle East shows this heat is not as crazy as some weeks ago, but it's still crazy. So still most of Saudi Arabia more than 40 degrees, 37 a few spots. In Iraq still shows more than 43 degrees. Sunday afternoon, tomorrow's spots northern Iran a little bit less, in the mountains slightly colder, but still like Pakistan still to like 47 degrees, central Pakistan, more spots there, central northern Pakistan to western India, potentially 45 degrees or more, northwestern India. So please be careful those areas. Still southwestern Russia, some higher temperatures, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, and still cold northern Siberia, northernmost Russia there. So yeah, beware Sunday. This goes, and during the night does fall a lot in the Himalayas. Those temperatures, some -11, so still cold there in the north. A few milder areas in Russia, but this goes does pick up again in Iraq, Saudi Arabia, to like 46 degrees possibly Monday afternoon. A few spots in Oman to 40, 37. Pakistan still to 47. So please stay safe in those areas. The GFS 46. The GFS like 49 degrees northern Pakistan. I don't understand why it exaggerates so much, but you never know. This is possible. The European 47 northern Pakistan, the icon 47 as well. So regardless if it's 47 or 49, it will be extremely dangerously hot. So please stay safe in those areas. Be careful. And Turkey, right, much warmer. Into Syria, southern Turkey, close to 40. So be careful Monday. This goes and like shows colder northeastern Russia, a few spots in eastern Russia in the mountains, northern Russia, and other spots milder. And then Japan is milder, choose a little bit less in the mountains, but some 19, 20 degrees spots on the coast. So yeah, and central China is warmer too, especially the Gobi Desert, very hot. Central China, South Korea, already warmer. So this goes shows there in Pakistan, and by Tuesday afternoon, the Europeans like to 48 degrees central northern Pakistan, and these areas southern Pakistan to 48 as well. So please stay safe in those areas. The heat indices, the feels like temperatures might be even to like 50 degrees, the heat indices. So please stay safe in those areas. More than 43 in Saudi Arabia, to 47 in three axon 47, 45 in Iran. So stay safe in those areas. Please be careful. Shows there Turkmenistan, slightly hotter, spots Pakistan, and even to Syria to 42 degrees. So stay safe. Tuesday, Wednesday still shows kind of hot during the night, some 31. And remember, if it stays hot during the night, it can be very dangerous for the health. So this goes shows in Pakistan still by Wednesday, the 11th, close to 48, like nearly 49 degrees in one town there in Pakistan by Wednesday, the 11th. So please stay safe. That's close to 50 degrees Celsius. Like that can extremely dangerous heat stroke, and please be careful, stay cool, stay inside. There's the GFS to 49 all over the place, and 48. The icons like to 48 and 47, but the icon does have 49, those valleys, central Pakistan, like as far north as there in those low elevations. So please stay safe if you are in those towns. The If you are out there, the heat indices might be as high as like 52 or something. So please stay safe. Do whatever you can to stay safe from that heat. Nearly to 49 degrees. Please be careful. Shows northern Pakistan to 47, central northern areas still around some 46 in Iraq, spots in Saudi Arabia to 47 as well. So Wednesday, Thursday, this just continues there. Even the high end 47 in Iraq by Thursday the 12th, even Saudi Arabia 47 still near Oman, United Arab Emirates 46, right in the junction there, more spots to 47, even Central Qatar to 46, Western Iran to 46. So please stay safe, and still 49 in Pakistan in a few spots. So please stay safe. Northern India still shows some low end 40s. Thursday, next Friday still shows, especially in Iraq. The Europeans 49 degrees in Iraq next Friday. This is insane. The GFS 50, 50 degrees Celsius. But this is 1 week from now, and it will change thousands of times. So don't get too scared. But like 50 degrees, extremely dangerous, level 1000 of danger. So please stay safe in those areas, stay cool. Saudi Arabia, the GFS 248 as well, the European 247, and the icon in Iraq 249, 48 Friday. So please be aware, this is coming. Then this goes and still continues very hot layer. So please stay safe in those areas, warn others. In terms of strong winds, some storms in East Asia might have some stronger gusts, as well as Mongolia. Sunday, tomorrow, this goes like still shows some more gusts. Tuesday, spots of Mongolia, near Japan, possibly, finger to North Korea. So this goes, depending on what happens with this tropical system, this will still change. But if it becomes the extra tropical system there, it might bring some very high winds to Japan, especially 1 week from now. But if this becomes tropical, then this will go into southern China there. So Saturday, this goes by the 15th in Japan, and those monsoon winds pick up a lot after June 14th as well in the Indian Ocean. So be aware, shows a few gusts stronger central Iran in a few spots of Afghanistan, so a few spots of stronger gusts a day or two. As I said, in the European one, northwestern Russia, some very high gusts. I don't even remember if I showed the winds there, but stay safe. Northwestern Russia, those wind gusts. Monday, this goes. Mongolia and China, this continues. The rest, not seeing anything too crazy, except for a day or two in Western Turkey or into Afghanistan and Iran, Pakistan, a few higher gusts. So be aware those areas and stay safe, especially these potential systems forming, the heavy rain, the extreme heat. So stay safe.